Hi guys, welcome to our final walk around of our West Boulevard project. So this is the 5-bed, 5 ensuite HMO for professionals. So in true tradition, what we'll do is we'll have like a good probably 15 minutes walking around showing everything that went wrong, just to make it a bit more interesting, just to try and add some value to the community. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around now, and then Ashley will walk through everything.
Thank you very much. So yeah, excited to show you guys the luxury 5-bed HMO development. We've actually been working on this one since the back end of 2019 too. We probably took the best part of near enough all of 2020 off this project as the investor was doing other projects, and then we came back to it towards the back end of last year into the start of 2021. So just while we're out here, you guys can see we've got freshly paved. So there's car parking space here for one, and then potentially another one there, and another one on the road. So, you know, there's decent parking right here. New fencing, so we put new fencing up. You guys would have remembered last year, the older videos, where we actually had the tree. Now, there was a tree in a neighbouring property. Now, the issue with the tree was lenders were asking questions about it, and the insurance companies were asking questions about it. So it was something that we needed to investigate, you know, to find out what actually we could do, what we could do, and what we needed to do. Essentially, in the end, it's all got sorted. Happy days. Was very difficult. Again, there's no Birmingham City Department for trees and issues with trees, and you can go for a long rigmarole of speaking to your insurers, etc., and getting reports here, there, and everywhere. Thankfully, we didn't have to do that, but all good. So, step into the property. So, one thing, firstly, is we haven't finished with the replacement of the door. That is a day or two away. So, the outside of the property will be looking really nice. So,
Repainted.
yeah, sorry, apologies. Repainted the outside as well. Just touched it up. So, we've gone with the contrasting white and grey, which is our theme at the minute. But it's looking really good. So, step into the property. So as you can see here, we've got the commercial grade carpet at the front of the house. So that just means that any debris, any crap is going to be left on this floor and not on the really nice floor. And my trainers are brand new, so.
And they've given us a good amount as well. So
it's a good stretch. Exactly, it's a good stretch. So I am walking around with my trainers, but they are perfectly clean. So into room one, again, you know, really large room. So this is what we go for with the professional HMOs. Now, as you guys know, there's going to be, or there has been a big slowdown in the amount of properties that have been converted to HMOs in Birmingham due to Article 4 in June 2020. But because we had already started the project prior to this, it meant that we could continue and not have any issues. But again, look at this big room here. So this room's about 12 square meters, plus you've got a couple of square meters here for an ensuite. Now, all our en-suites, unfortunately, we did have to reduce them in size ever so slightly because we were playing around with the different room sizes. Now, we know, ultimately, for you investors out there, I know you guys always ask a lot of questions, the size of your en-suite isn't going to make too much of a difference too, is it? So no. If we had increased the size of that by a meter squared and made it just a little bit bigger, we would have taken a meter squared from the bedroom, which is living space, which is not what we want to do. No tenant is ever going to tell you I've got an amazingly great big ensuite shower room and a very small room. They would much rather a big room and a nice neat ensuite. So let's walk into room number 2. So room number 2 was one of the rooms that gave us quite a lot of difficulties initially from even the design stage. Now you can see we've got a couple of fire escape windows up there. There isn't any sort of ground level windows in this room. It's obviously all passed off from a fire regs perspective, but this room was the one that was sort of causing us issues, wasn't it too? At first, obviously.
In terms of design.
Well, in terms of design, yeah, at first we were unsure whether we were allowed to, from a compliance perspective, have rooms with sort of the skylights. Secondly, it was the practicality of it. Do you want a room that hasn't got sort of, you know, standard windows and window bays? Essentially, we've gone with it. It was part of the plan. We haven't changed it too much apart from allow for quite a lot of light to come into it. Another aspect that we were worried about too was how much light we actually got into the room, wasn't it? So, two is really good idea to sort of put this mirror just in underneath. So as the sun comes down from those windows, it hits this mirror. And actually, the room is very bright. Room is very bright. So one thing we're also looking at doing is to create a little bit of storage space again. Is we're looking to integrate a small sort of ladder, more so a decorative ladder. So either you can use for storage, you know, whether it's books or magazines or whatnot, but then potentially use that space up there as well, and to also act as a secondary exit just in case obviously somebody does need to get up and out through there. Fire safety is obviously a very, very important factor for us. In terms of what's gone wrong, so loads has gone wrong, hasn't it too? Let's be honest, I mean, the project's taken the best part of 18 months to do. We have done everything in this property. There's not one thing that hasn't been done in this property, so it's been fully rewired. We actually had to upgrade to a 3-phase supply because by the time we started hooking everything up, we realised that the load into the property wouldn't be sufficient. We've obviously got a full panel fire alarm here, and this area is going to house the washer dryer and also be sort of a small storage area for mop, for the vacuum, that type of stuff. So yeah,
It's a 2-bed before, was it a 3-bed? It's very small.
3-bed. So it's a 3-bed upstairs with a box room. We always knew that upstairs would only ever be 2 beds on the first floor. We were thinking about going into the loft space, potentially creating a 6-bedroom in the loft. We also, if you guys remember, had a really, really grand idea of having a 6-bedroom literally underneath where we stand now. So from about here is where the extension is. So this is where the extension runs, isn't it too? All the way out here, so we've got a 6-meter long extension. We've managed to put bedroom 3 in here, which you can see exits perfectly onto the kitchen diner. So again, you know, a nice, let me stand in there actually too, just to give people to understand an idea. So I'm 6'2", I'm a big guy. So again, it's not huge, but I can comfortably get into the shower. You know, I've got no problem here getting in the shower. I've got no problem using the sink and using the space. And again, I'm a pretty big guy. So let's have a quick look outside too before we come back in and discuss the kitchen diner. So again, from a design perspective, what we also know is that as much as having a nice big communal area is really good, generally your tenants, and again it depends on the demographic and the type of tenants you're going for, but generally your tenants are not going to use too much of this space. Yes, it needs to be functional, yes it needs to be luxury, it needs to be nice, but what tenants care about more is have they got an ensuite and have they got a big enough room for effectively them to live in that room and live out of that room. And to the back, let's have a walk down the back too. So you can see here we've got metal stairs, painted, we need to get touched up, and we've got the fake astroturf here, which is not too bad. Essentially we've put this down, low maintenance, not got to worry about it through the seasons. You won't need a gardener out here. We've got this small area here which potentially again could be used as a barbecuing area. That down there can be a sunbathing area. However the tenants want to manage it is however the tenants want to manage it, but it is a really good big functional space that leads right onto a park right in the back there.
So we've got a 6-seater bench and table coming, outdoor table seating, and then we've got some solar fairy lights that we need to put up as well, so they've arrived. But yeah, perfectly suitable.
Just to brighten up out here. Yeah. So I think one more thing too is just come out to here and just pan out. So you guys would have remembered months ago the really, really grand idea that we had was to actually have a bedroom in here. So it probably would have been dropped to level, so it would have been more from this level where you would have walked out from underneath there, and we was going to have a huge room there, wasn't we too? It was going to be about 30 square meters with an ensuite, kitchenette. Effectively it would have been its own flat. Now the big issue we had with that is Severn Trent foul drain runs at the back of the properties right across there, so even to get the extension in, we've obviously had to get permission from Severn Trent, do a pre and post build over survey. Thankfully everything is okay, so we're allowed to actually go ahead with the extension, but actually building in that space would have cost obviously a lot more money, which the investor didn't have at the time, and also would have just made it very complicated. To be fair to you, I think this project this is a project that we've gone and probably done every scheme, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think I've seen. This is a project that two sourced before we started working together. I think I've seen plans for a 4-bed, a 5-bed, a 6-bed. So there are loads of different things that we could do with this property, given that we know it's in a really good area, and literally the back there is Harborne. And as you guys know, getting a fully fledged HMO, in and around Harborne is going to be very difficult, especially with a finish like this. So yeah, into our kitchen diner. Like I said, we always knew it was going to be a long galley style kitchen. What's not happening is we're not skimping on the quality. So you can see all your small mod cons, soft closers. We've gone with this has been our standard set for the last few properties, isn't it? But they're good. It's good men's, it's functional. They come as a set. Everything here is set up for luxury. Let's head upstairs. So carpet, again, for our professional HMOs, we always go with a thicker carpet. I think...
And automatic lights.
Yes, well, automatic lights in all the communal areas. This is one of the only things that's actually stayed from this original house. So the handrail down there and the banister is probably the only thing that stayed. Into room 4. So room 4, again, like I said, these 2 rooms upstairs never changed in terms of the plan. So I think you can have a look at here too. Just show the guys the fiberglass extension with the skylights in. That's gonna last 25-30 years without any problems. So yeah, you can see how big this room is. This room is about 14 square meters. The one next door is about 16 square meters. Again, I think the original bathroom.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
We actually shrunk it, I think.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So we've just shrunk it. Obviously, again, we don't need a huge space for an ensuite. This is, again, a really good space. It's functional, it's big, it's nice and bright and light. But more importantly, the room's big. So you've got a 3/4 double here. You've got everything that you need. You've got kitchenette area, so just a dry kitchen area here, for your own fridge. Now again here, what you went for in here too, sofa and potentially a coffee table. So we're potentially looking at making this area here, or even this area here, a bit of a living area. And let's be honest, the room is more than big enough. So into the final room. This is the flagship room. So this is the biggest room in the property. This room is it's actually about 18 square meters, isn't it too? What we've actually done is, I believe we stole a room and made this one bigger. Was this one?
Yes, no, there was a small room.
Yeah, the smaller
This
rooms.
one.
So we stole a room effectively to add 2 big rooms with en-suites. But this is really, really big. Again, as you can see, en-suite, a little bit bigger up here because we had the space for it to be. But other than that, again, really big rooms. Over here, we're looking at this area being the sort of living area. So we're looking to put sofa, coffee table. You can see already we've got some storage or a TV stand. So yeah, it's really big. We're done with this project. I think this is being our last professional HMO for a little while, isn't it too?
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys understand what's happening in Birmingham at the moment. So good luck to you guys that are still doing HMOs. I think other than that too, in this property, I just want to touch on some of the issues we had. So we did have to upgrade to a 3-phase supply. We did have some trouble initially with the tree, and that was down to insurances and even the lenders actually asking the question about the tree and if it's caused any damage. We obviously had some issues. I wouldn't say so much issues, but just going back and forth with different quotes, different ideas about what to actually do with the property. Yeah. Firstly, what we physically could do versus what the investor could actually afford to do. And given the fact that we stopped the project at the start of 2020, no pandemic, and then picked it up at the back end of 2020 again, when we were in full swing of the pandemic, I think it's testament to our build team as well, and the people that we've got around us in the team. What other issues did we have? I think those were probably the main ones.
No, I think we did the drive.
Yeah.
And then, we added the drive, and then we wanted to paint it at the end as well, paint the front.
Yeah, so just painting at the front again. When you have a big project like this, for us, we never try and cut corners. And we'll always advise our investors not to cut corners. Effectively, you're going to lose the edge over time. But this is us. This is our last sort of professional HMO for a little while.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out. We will be coming with some more. I'm pretty sure of it.
I think we're just looking to buy existing HMOs as well.
So yeah, any of you guys that have got any existing HMOs for sale in and around Birmingham, please give us a shout. Hit myself up, hit two up. We're pretty much always in a position to buy with ourselves or our investors, and we're quick. We'll tell you within a day, within a couple hours. Whether the property
Single lets, commercial units, anything really.
Absolutely anything. Throw our way.
Yeah, cool. All right, hopefully that's been helpful. See you guys on the next one. Bye.